Hi everybody, my name is Paul. I've just purchased the Ankarsrum Assistant, which so far I've only ever used it 3 times and I think I love it. This one was just going to be for my records, and I don't like video recipes and stuff, and it's just so much easier to do it on a video, but then it turned into, well, why don't I just make it into a video? I apologise about any of the editing. I missed the first part with the ingredients for the Tangzhong, so I put loads of writing all over it, but that's just doing my head in, so I won't be doing that anymore. And may I all with a broken foot. So let's see.
Of water, add 50 grams of flour, whisk the flour until it's all gone, then add 120 grams of milk and keep whisking until it becomes into a thick paste. Once a thick paste has been achieved, transfer it into a little bowl and cover it with cling film, making sure that there is no air gaps. Allow to cool to room temperature. So for the dough, you're going to need 240 millilitres of milk, 700 grams of strong bread flour, 30 grams of milk powder, obviously cool down Tangzhong, 14 grams of yeast, 100 grams of sugar, 2 whole eggs, and 120 grams of butter, but it has to be room temperature spreadable. I've added the 240 millilitres of milk into a saucepan. I've added 2 tablespoons of the sugar, and we're just going to make sure it's dissolved and then let it reach 30 degrees. I'm going to add the warmed milk to the Ank. I'm going to add the 14 grams of yeast. I'm going to give it a little mix. Just to and then I'm going to leave that for 10 minutes to do its thing. Just get rid of that. Leave it for 10 minutes. So while that's waiting, I might as well butter up my Pullman loaf tin. I only got it from Amazon, I think it was only £19. So it's been around about 10 minutes, and as you can see, slightly activated. Now normally when I use the KitchenAid I always put all of the flour in, but going by all the videos, I'm going to just put everything in apart from the butter and only half of the flour. So that lot's all in. Obviously apart from half the flour and the butter. Now let's give it a go, and we're going to combine it on a medium, like I've seen on all the other ones. So I've no idea if this is going to work out. When I was using the KitchenAid, this is the same recipe as the KitchenAid. So the only thing that I'm going to do different is adding half the flour at the start. KitchenAid I use to mix it all up, combine it all, and let it mix for about 6 to 7 minutes. obviously that's where we have to start playing around with the location of the roller. So it's either going to have too much water or not enough flour. So I'm going to add the rest of the flour. And let's see what that does. So it's wanting to come out of it. So I'm going to let this run for, I'm going to say 7 minutes. Obviously, can't show that. At the start of the first 7 minutes, I've turned it up a little bit. I've moved the roller around a little bit. So we'll come back in 7 minutes. So 3.5 minutes left. It's picked up all the stuff from the side. Normally what I've been doing is I've been playing around. I've been scraping it out, but other than that all I've been doing is sometimes clearing the scraper, and then sometimes it does it nicely. I think that's mixing. So leave it another 3.5 minutes. 7 minutes up. It kept getting stuck around the slider, scraper even. So maybe I just need to then start adding little blobs of butter. It says not to add it too much at a time. This is obviously going to loosen it. So I'm going to do this in small batches and see where we go from there. So it says I'm going to combine it all. Wait until it's all incorporated before adding any more. What happens if I turn it up a little bit? Obviously I can't change the position of the dough roller because I ain't got an hands free. So once it's incorporated, like now, I'm going to add some more. So I'll continue doing that and see where we go. Right, so this is taking longer than the KitchenAid. It's not working in the butter as quick. I can't seem to change the dough roller to make any effect. So that's probably why it's taking a little bit longer. I've still got half of the butter still to go. Well, that's all the butter sort of merged in. Not played around with the roller that much, but again, just been clearing it. Sometimes it does go to the middle in a nice little, like it's needing. So now, there. So like now, I'm just going to turn it up to 3 o'clock. And I'm going to put it on for 7 minutes and see where we go. Don't know if that's too fast. So let me have a little play. I've turned it back down again. It kept just doing this. So that's it. The 7 minutes is up. But first impressions, it feels a lot doughier than the KitchenAid. And it's not as sticky as the KitchenAid. So I do believe it feels better. So now I'll just take it out, clean the bowl out, and then put it back in here. Now normally I
I've never proved in one of these, so I'm just going to let it prove with a cap over for 60 minutes and we'll see. Just another little side note, that was the easiest no stick I've ever had. I'll slap you again. Right, in your bowl you go. Oh, 60 minutes later. Oh my god. So I'm gonna knock this back, get it out, weigh it, divide it by 6. Well, that's been a better rise than any other, so. Divided into 6, and yet again, no flour this time. I've always had to use flour to shape them, but just not sticking. So now I've got to do what I don't like, which is roll it out by 15 by 30, and then, well, I'll show you pictures, but it's not pretty. I'll show you one in picture form. Now that is normally the worst thing I hate about doing this bread, but again, so easy to work with, literally no flour used, absolutely loving it so far, even if it doesn't come out right. So far, I just love it. So let's put them into the Pullman loaf and I shall let you know. Well, there they are. So now I normally just leave it to rise till it gets to about there. So I'm going to give it about 45 minutes and see where we go. So there she is after 40 minutes. I'm going to slip the lid on. It's going to go into an oven at 175 centigrade between 25 to 30 minutes. I normally leave it 30 minutes before I check the temperature, and I've been advised that the internal temperature should be 88°C, so let's see. So I probed it at 33 minutes and it was nowhere near 88, so I added another 7 minutes. And are you ready? Shall we go for the panoramic shot? It did, however, spew out of the side. But I think that's because I let it rise too much. And then I turned the oven on, and it's a really warm day today. But we shall see. Well, I'm not quite sure how many people have got to the end of this, but we couldn't wait. I don't know if it's because I want it to be better for the amount of money I paid for the Ank, but it is better. I think from the moment that I knew that the dough felt better, I knew that it was going to be better. You know, like if you get a Warburton's, it's that soft. It is that soft. Highly recommend. Please let me know if you try it. Please let me know if you're thinking of trying it, because that is well worth it. See you later.